What if Voldemort had chosen differently? What if, on that October night in 1981, when the Dark Lord heard the prophecy about a boy who could defeat him, he hadn't gone after Harry Potter? What if he'd chosen the other boy born at the end of July? What if he'd gone after Neville Longbottom instead? It's a single decision. One choice between two babies. But it changes absolutely everything. Because here's the thing, the prophecy never actually named Harry. It could have been either of them. Both born as the seventh month dies. Both to parents who defied Voldemort 3 times. The prophecy didn't choose the boy who lived. Voldemort did. The Dark Lord will mark him as his equal. Voldemort marked Harry because he chose Harry. But what if he'd marked Neville instead? Would Neville have survived? Would his parents have died protecting him? Would he have grown up to be brave enough, strong enough, destined enough to defeat the Dark Lord? Or would Voldemort have won that night, ending the war before it could truly begin? And here's what makes this scenario absolutely fascinating. We're not just swapping Harry for Neville and keeping everything else the same, because Harry and Neville are fundamentally different people. Harry's brave, quick-thinking, naturally talented. Neville's anxious, forgetful, constantly underestimated. So what happens when you take the underdog, the boy who could barely do magic for the first 4 years, and make him the chosen one? Does he rise to the occasion? Does he become the hero? Or does the entire wizarding world fall because the wrong boy was marked? Today we're walking through every year, every decision, every moment that would change if Neville Longbottom was marked as Voldemort's equal. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see both Neville and Harry in a completely different light. The Dark Lord will mark him as his equal, but he will have power the Dark Lord knows not. What power does Neville have? Let's find out. The night everything changed. October 31st, 1981. Voldemort standing in his dark fortress, contemplating the prophecy Snape brought him. 2 boys fit the description. Harry Potter, son of James and Lily. Neville Longbottom, son of Frank and Alice. In canon, Voldemort chooses Harry because he's a half-blood like Voldemort himself. He sees Harry as the greater threat, the more similar rival. Purebloods like the Longbottoms? Less concerning. But what if Voldemort's paranoia went differently? What if he thought, the Longbottoms are powerful Aurors. They fought me directly. They're more dangerous. I'll eliminate that bloodline first. So Voldemort goes to the Longbottom house. Frank and Alice are there with baby Neville. They're skilled Aurors, some of the best. When Voldemort arrives, they fight. They actually fight, unlike James who died wandless. The duel is brutal. Frank gets off some good shots. Alice manages to shield Neville, but Voldemort is Voldemort. He kills Frank first, then Alice. But Alice's last act is the same as Lily's in canon. She stands between Voldemort and Neville, and when given the choice to stand aside, she refuses. Not Neville, please, not Neville. Stand aside, you silly girl. Please, take me instead. And she dies. Her love, her sacrifice, creates the same magical protection. Voldemort raises his wand at baby Neville and casts the killing curse. It rebounds. Voldemort's body is destroyed. The house partially collapses. And baby Neville Longbottom survives with a lightning bolt scar on his forehead. The boy who lived. The aftermath. 2 very different childhoods. Here's where things immediately diverge in a major way. Because in canon, Harry goes to the Dursleys. He's abused, neglected, treated like garbage. He grows up not knowing he's famous, not knowing he's a wizard, completely unprepared for his destiny. But Neville? Neville goes to his grandmother. Augusta Longbottom is stern, demanding, traditional, but she's not abusive. She loves Neville, even if she shows it through high expectations rather than warmth. She raises him knowing he's the boy who lived, knowing he's famous, knowing he's destined for greatness. And that's a problem, because Neville grows up under crushing pressure. His grandmother constantly tells him he needs to live up to his parents' legacy. He needs to be brave like Frank, skilled like Alice, worthy of being the boy who defeated you-know-who. But Neville's not naturally gifted at magic. He's clumsy, anxious, forgetful. And every time he fails to levitate a feather or remember a spell, his grandmother sighs with disappointment. Your father could do this by age 5, Neville. So Neville grows up knowing he's supposed to be special, but feeling like he's not. He's famous but inadequate, the boy who lived who can barely live up to expectations. Meanwhile, Harry Potter grows up normally with his parents. Because in this timeline, Voldemort never attacks the Potters. James and Lily live, They raise Harry in Godric's Hollow, a happy, normal, magical childhood. Harry knows he's a wizard. He knows his parents are heroes in the Order of the Phoenix, but he's not famous. He's not the chosen one. He's just Harry, a normal kid with messy hair and his mother's green eyes. Sirius never goes to Azkaban because there's no betrayal to punish him for. Peter Pettigrew stays in hiding as a Death Eater, but he's not important enough to hunt down. Remus Lupin stays close to the Potters, a beloved uncle figure to Harry. Two boys, two completely different childhoods, and both heading to Hogwarts. The Hogwarts Express. First meetings, September 1st, 1991. Platform 9 3/4. Neville arrives with his grandmother, who's giving him last-minute instructions. Remember, Neville, you're representing the Longbottom name. Your parents would expect greatness from you. Don't disappoint them. Yes, Gran. She hands him his toad, Trevor. Try not to lose him this time. Neville clutches Trevor nervously and boards the train. In a different compartment, Harry Potter sits with Ron Weasley, who he met helping Mrs. Weasley find the platform. They're already becoming friends, talking about Quidditch and chocolate frogs. Neville wanders the corridor, looking for an empty compartment. Trevor, of course, escapes almost immediately. Trevor! No, come back. He's chasing his toad when he literally runs into someone. They both fall over. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see. It's a girl with bushy brown hair and an already open textbook. You should watch where you're going, Hermione Granger says, but not unkindly. She's noticed Neville looks upset. Are you all right? I lost my toad. I always lose him. Gran's going to be so disappointed. Hermione immediately stands up. Well, we'll just have to find him then, won't we? Come on. And that's how Neville meets his first friend. Not through bravery or heroics, but through clumsiness and Hermione's natural instinct to help people. They search compartments together. Eventually, they find Trevor in the compartment where Harry and Ron are sitting. Excuse me, have you seen a toad? Neville's lost one, Hermione announces. Ron's holding Trevor. Yeah, found this guy hopping around. Neville rushes forward. Trevor! Thank goodness. Thank you so much. Harry looks up at Neville and does a double take. Wait, you're Neville Longbottom? The boy who lived. Neville shrinks a bit. Yes. That's brilliant. I'm Harry Potter. This is Ron Weasley. Ron's eyes widen. Blimey, you're the one who defeated you-know-who as a baby. Neville looks uncomfortable. I didn't really do anything. I was just a baby. Buzz. Still counts, Ron says enthusiastically. That's proper hero stuff, that is. Hermione's watching this interaction with interest. She's read about Neville in several books. It's very impressive. The magical theory behind your survival is fascinating. Your mother's love created an ancient protective charm that... Right, Neville interrupts, clearly overwhelmed. I should get back to my compartment. Thank you for finding Trevor. He leaves quickly, Hermione following with concern. In the corridor, she catches up to him. Are you sure you're all right? Everyone expects me to be this great hero, but I'm not. I can barely do magic. What if I can't live up to it? Hermione, with her characteristic directness, says, Then you'll learn. That's what Hogwarts is for. You don't have to be perfect now. You just have to be willing to try. It's exactly what Neville needs to hear. And from this moment, Hermione becomes not just a friend, but his anchor. The sorting, where everyone belongs. The sorting ceremony arrives. The Great Hall is magnificent. First years are terrified, and the sorting hat begins its song. When Longbottom Neville is called, the entire Great Hall goes silent. The boy who lived is about to be sorted. Neville walks to the stool, trembling. The hat is placed on his head, and the hat immediately knows this is complicated. Ah, Longbottom, the boy who lived. So much pressure on such young shoulders. Let's see. Tremendous courage, yes, buried deep beneath the fear, but also a strong sense of loyalty. And not much ambition, no, you don't seek glory. Where to put you? Neville thinks desperately. Gryffindor. Please, Gryffindor. Gran expects it. Mum and Dad were Gryffindor. Gryffindor, you say? Yes, I can see why you'd think that. Your parents were brave indeed, but bravery isn't just charging into danger, my boy. Sometimes the bravest thing is admitting you're afraid and doing it anyway. Very well. Gryffindor. The Gryffindor table explodes with applause. The boy who lived is theirs. Neville sits down, relieved and terrified in equal measure. A few names later, Granger, Hermione, the hat barely touches her head. Gryffindor! She sits next to Neville, gives him an encouraging smile. Then, Potter Harry, the hall buzzes with interest. The son of James and Lily Potter, war heroes. The hat takes longer with Harry. Plenty of courage, yes. A good mind, too. You could do well in Ravenclaw. But there's a certain loyalty to friends, a fierce protective instinct, and you don't seek attention despite your name. Interesting. Better be Gryffindor. Harry joins the table, sits near Ron, who was sorted moments before. And finally, at the end, Weasley, Ronald. Gryffindor! Ron joins his brother's house, grinning widely. So our core group is together, but the dynamics are different. Neville's the famous one. Harry's just a normal kid. Hermione's still brilliant and bossy. And Ron's still Ron. Year 1, living in a legend's shadow. The first few weeks at Hogwarts are hard for Neville. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone expects greatness. But Neville can barely get his wand to work properly. In Transfiguration, McGonagall calls on him to demonstrate turning a match into a needle. He waves his wand, concentrates hard, and the match breaks in half. The class giggles. McGonagall purses her lips. Mr. Longbottom perhaps more focus and less force. Later, Hermione helps him practice. You're gripping too tightly. Magic is about intent and precision, not strength. How are you so good at this already? I read the textbooks 3 times before school started. You can borrow my notes if you'd like. Neville's grateful, but also aware that everyone's comparing him to Hermione. The boy who lived can't keep up with a Muggle-born first year. Meanwhile, Harry's discovering he's actually quite good at magic. Not as studious as Hermione, but naturally talented. In defense against the dark arts, taught by Quirrell, who's still suspicious, Harry excels. Snape still hates the Potter name, but his hatred manifests differently. Since Harry's not famous, Snape's cruelty is more subtle. He criticizes Harry's potion work, but doesn't openly humiliate him like he did Canon Harry. But Snape sees Neville Longbottom and something shifts. Because Snape knew Frank and Alice. They were Aurors who fought Voldemort. And now their son, the boy who survived because of his mother's love, just like Lily's sacrifice in another timeline, sits in his classroom. Snape's conflicted. He doesn't coddle Neville, but he doesn't destroy him either. It's complicated. The troll in the friendship Halloween arrives. The troll gets led into the dungeon. Quirrell screams his warning. Hermione's in the bathroom crying because Ron said something thoughtless about her being a know-it-all. Canon timeline, Harry and Ron realize Hermione doesn't know about the troll. They run to save her, but so does Neville. Because Neville's been friends with Hermione since the train. She's been helping him with homework, encouraging him, making him feel less alone in his inadequacy. So when he hears she's in danger, he doesn't think, he just runs. Harry, Ron, and Neville all arrive at the bathroom at the same time. The troll is there. Hermione's screaming, Harry, we need a plan. Ron, we need to distract it. Neville, terrified but moving anyway, we need to save Hermione. He runs at the troll. It's not brave, it's panic, but sometimes they look the same. Neville tries to cast a spell. It comes out wrong. The troll swings at him. Ron levitates a pipe and drops it on the troll's head. Harry dives to pull Hermione out of the way. Together, chaotically, they bring the troll down. When the professors arrive, McGonagall is furious. What were you four thinking? Hermione, surprising everyone. It's my fault, Professor. I went looking for the troll. I thought I could handle it. They saved me. It's a lie, but it's a lie that bonds them. McGonagall takes points but awards some back for sheer dumb luck. And the four of them, Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville, become inseparable. QIDID and expectations. McGonagall still sees Harry's natural flying ability and recruits him for Gryffindor's Quidditch team. But there's no dramatic story about the boy who lived becoming the youngest Seeker in a century, because that's not Harry. It's just James Potter's son is good at Quidditch, just like his father was. Neville watches the first match nervously. He wants to support his friends, but brooms terrify him. Heights terrify him. During the match, Harry's broom still gets jinxed. Quirrell's still trying to kill the boy who lived, except now that's Neville, not Harry. But here's the thing. Quirrell hasn't had an opportunity yet. Neville's never been alone. He's always with Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So Quirrell has to get creative. After the Quidditch match, Quirrell arranges an accident in the corridors. A suit of armor falls toward Neville. Harry, walking beside him, reacts instinctively, tackles Neville out of the way. They both tumble to the ground. The armor crashes where Neville was standing. "Blimey, that was close," Ron says. Hermione's eyes narrow. "That wasn't an accident. Someone pushed that armor." "Don't be ridiculous," Ron argues. "Who'd want to hurt Neville?" Hermione and Neville lock eyes. Because Neville knows. People who supported Voldemort would love to finish what their master started. This begins their investigation into who's trying to kill Neville, which leads them to the third-floor corridor, to Fluffy, and to the Philosopher's Stone. The Stone. A group effort. As the year progresses, the four of them figure out someone's trying to steal the Philosopher's Stone. They also realize someone's trying to hurt Neville specifically. Hermione does the research. Harry provides practical magic skills. Ron offers strategic thinking. And Neville provides motivation. Because it's his life on the line. When they decide to go after the stone themselves, it's not a trio, it's a quartet. They get past Fluffy using music. Through the devil's snare with Hermione's knowledge. Harry catches the key with his seeker skills. Ron wins the chess game, though he gets hurt doing it, same as Canon. But then there's the final chamber. In Canon, Harry goes alone. Here, Harry, Hermione, and Neville all go through. And there's Quirrell with the Mirror of Erist. The famous Neville Longbottom, Quirrell sneers. The boy who lived? How touching that you brought friends to die with you. But Harry steps forward. Leave him alone. Ah, Harry Potter the Spare. The boy who should have been nothing but grew up happy and whole. How unfair that you got to keep your parents while Neville lost his. It's cruel, calculated to divide them. But Hermione speaks up. We're not leaving him. We're in this together. Quirrell laughs. Then you'll die together. Master, shall I kill the spare ones first? Voldemort's face on the back of Quirrell's head speaks. No, the Longbottom boy. He's the one who must die. Quirrell lunges at Neville. Harry and Hermione try to interfere, but Voldemort's magic throws them back. Neville's alone, facing Quirrell, absolutely terrified. The mirror shows Neville the stone in his pocket. Same magic as Canon. He wants to find it, but not use it. Quirrell grabs Neville's throat, and his hands start to burn. Because Alice Longbottom's love protects Neville the same way Lily's protected Harry. The same ancient magic, the same sacrifice, the same power the Dark Lord knows not. Quirrell screams and releases Neville. His hands are blistering. Master, I cannot touch him. Then use the killing curse, you fool. But Quirrell's weaken, and in that moment of hesitation, Harry hits him with a knockback jinx. Not powerful, but enough to disrupt Quirrell's concentration. Hermione yells, Neville, the stone! Destroy it. Neville pulls the stone from his pocket and smashes it against the floor with all his strength. It shatters. Quirrell screams in rage. Voldemort's spirit abandons him, fleeing. Quirrell collapses. And Neville Longbottom, the anxious boy who could barely cast spells, has faced Voldemort for the second time and survived. The hospital wing, Validation Neville wakes up in the hospital wing. His friends are there. So is Dumbledore. Mr. Longbottom, once again, you've thwarted Lord Voldemort, though this time you had help. I couldn't have done it without them, Professor. No, indeed. But the fact remains, you faced him, you held the stone. You made the choice to destroy it rather than use it. That takes a special kind of courage. Later, when it's just the four friends, Neville finally breaks down. I was so scared. I'm always scared. How am I supposed to be the boy who lived when I can barely live up to my own name? Harry, who's been thinking a lot about this, says, Neville, you know what I figured out? Being brave doesn't mean not being scared. It means being scared and doing it anyway. You're terrified every day, but you keep trying. That's braver than anything I've done. Ron nods. Plus, you've got us. You're not doing this alone. Hermione squeezes Neville's hand. You're stronger than you think, Neville. You just need to start believing it. At the end of year feast, Gryffindor wins the House Cup. Points are awarded for their bravery, their teamwork, their willingness to stand together. And for the first time, Neville feels like maybe, just maybe, he can do this chosen one thing after all. Year 2, the Chamber of Secrets. Summer with Gran is still difficult. She's proud that Neville faced you-know-who again, but disappointed he needed help doing it. Your father would have handled it alone, Neville. Dad was an Aurora Gran. I'm 12. At 12, your father was already showing signs of greatness. It's exhausting, but Neville has letters from Harry, Ron, and Hermione to keep him grounded. When second year starts, the Chamber of Secrets opens, the attacks begin, and the messages appear. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the Hair, beware. The school immediately suspects Neville. Because he's the boy who lived, he's famous, and he's been acting weird, anxious, but people interpret it as suspicious. Plus, he can talk to Trevor sometimes, right? Maybe he's a Parcelmouth. The rumors spiral. Even some Gryffindors whisper. Only Harry, Ron, and Hermione stand by him completely. It's not Neville, Hermione insists. He would never hurt anyone. But then Hermione gets petrified while researching. The note in her hand says Basilisk. Neville's devastated. His best friend, the person who believed in him most, is stoned because of this monster. Harry and Ron investigate with him. They still figure out the entrance is in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. They still find the chamber, but here's the difference. Ginny Weasley's possession plays out slightly differently, because Tom Riddle's not obsessed with Neville the way he was with Harry. Neville's the boy who lived, sure, but Tom doesn't see himself in Neville. There's no connection, no we're similar dynamic. So Tom's focus is just on opening the chamber and purging Muggleborns. Ginny's a tool, nothing more. When Harry, Ron, and Neville descend into the chamber, they find Ginny dying and Tom Riddle's memory solidifying. Tom looks at Neville with disdain. Neville Longbottom, the boy who lived through sheer luck. No skill, no power. Just fortunate enough to have a mother who loved him. That's more power than you've ever had, Neville says, surprising himself with his boldness. Tom laughs. Is it? Love didn't save your mother from death, did it? Just like it won't save you. He summons the basilisk. Harry immediately closes his eyes. Don't look at it. Close your eyes. Ron's terrified but follows orders. Neville's shaking but remembers. Fawkes arrives in canon. Will Fawkes come now? The phoenix appears, blinds the basilisk, drops the sorting hat. But when the sword of Gryffindor falls out, 3 boys are there, not 1. Harry grabs it first. He's the quickest. Neville! Keep it distracted. How? Talk to it. Neville doesn't know Parseltongue. He can't speak to snakes, but he yells anyway, throws rocks, makes noise. The basilisk, blind and angry, strikes at the sound. Harry dodges, swings the sword, misses. Ron throws stones from another angle, creating confusion. And Neville, in a moment of absolute terror-fueled instinct, sees the basilisk coming right at him and doesn't run. He stands still. The basilisk opens its mouth to swallow him whole, and Harry, with perfect timing, drives the sword up through the roof of the basilisk's mouth. The creature dies, but a fang breaks off and stabs Neville's arm. He's dying. Basilisk venom, no cure. Ron's screaming. Harry's trying to pull the fang out, and Tom Riddle's laughing. The boy who lived, dying in my chamber. How poetic. But Fawkes cries onto the wound. Phoenix tears. The venom is neutralized. Neville grabs the fang with his good hand and stabs it into Tom Riddle's diary. The memory screams and dissolves. Ginny wakes up. They all escape. The aftermath, growing confidence. The aftermath of the chamber is huge for Neville's development, because he didn't kill the basilisk, Harry did. But Neville destroyed the diary. Neville stood his ground when the monster came at him. Neville, despite being terrified, didn't run. Dumbledore tells him, there are many kinds of courage, Neville. The courage to face a monster. The courage to face your fears. The courage to trust your friends. You demonstrated all 3. When Hermione wakes up from being petrified, Neville hugs her so hard she can't breathe. I'm fine, Neville. I'm fine. You were stone. You were stone because of me. Because I'm the boy who lived, and people keep trying to hurt me. That's not your fault. None of this is your fault. But Neville's starting to realize being the boy who lived means people he cares about will be in danger, and he needs to get stronger to protect them. So that summer, he asks his gran to teach him real magic, not just school stuff. Combat magic, defense. Augusta's surprised but pleased. Finally showing some Longbottom spirit, are you? I'm tired of being useless, Gran. My friends keep saving me. I want to save them too. It's the first time Neville's actively chosen to train to improve to be better, and it changes everything. Year 3, the prisoner of Azkaban. Sirius Black escapes from Azkaban. The wanted posters go up. And the story is, He's after Neville Longbottom, because in this timeline, Sirius was still secret keeper for the Potters, who didn't need hiding. But he was also close to the Longbottoms. When they were killed, Sirius tried to hunt down Peter Pettigrew, who he knew was a Death Eater. Same confrontation, same explosion, same "he killed them" accusation. Sirius went to Azkaban for supposedly killing Peter and being the Longbottom's secret keeper. Except Sirius was never the Longbottom's secret keeper. That was Albus Dumbledore. But the Ministry didn't care about facts, and Sirius never got a trial. Now he's out, and everyone assumes he wants to finish Voldemort's work by killing Neville. The Dementors come to Hogwarts, and Neville reacts badly to them. Worse than Harry in canon, because Neville's trauma is fresh and constant. He hears his mother's screams, his father's dying words. Professor Lupin becomes Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and he watches Neville with sad recognition, because Remus knew Frank and Alice. Your parents were incredibly brave, Neville. Your mother once saved my life during a Death Eater raid. Really? Really? She was remarkable. You have her eyes, you know. It's the first time someone's complimented Neville by comparing him to his mother without it feeling like a burden. Lupin teaches Neville the Patronus charm privately. You'll need it against the Dementors. Your happy memory. What is it? Neville thinks. His happiest memory isn't from his parents. He doesn't remember them. It's recent. It's his friends. Last year, after the chamber, when Hermione woke up and hugged all of us. We were all together and safe. That's a good memory. Focus on it. Expecto Patronum. A silver mist appears. Not a full Patronus yet, but something. Meanwhile, Harry's having his own issues. Because his parents are alive and well, he doesn't have the same trauma around Dementors. He hears his mum arguing with his dad about something mundane. Here's normal family stuff. But he's also dealing with the knowledge that Sirius Black is his godfather. James told him stories about Sirius, about the Marauders, and now Sirius is supposedly a mass murderer. Harry doesn't believe it. Something doesn't add up. The truth about Sirius. The year progresses. Sirius is spotted near Hogwarts. Security tightens. And then, one night, Ron's rat, Scabbers, starts acting weird. He bites Ron and runs. Ron chases him. Harry and Neville follow. They end up in the Shrieking Shack. And there's Sirius Black. Everyone freezes. Sirius looks terrible. Thin, ragged, desperate. Neville Longbottom, he rasps. I'm not here to hurt you. Then why are you here? Neville's wand is shaking but pointed at Sirius. Peter Pettigrew. He's the one who betrayed your parents. He's the one who should be in Azkaban. You killed him. No, he's alive. He's been hiding as a rat for 12 years, and he's right there. Sirius points at Scabbers. They think he's mad. But then Lupin arrives, and the whole story comes out. Scabbers is Peter. Peter was the spy. Peter killed all those muggles and faked his death. Sirius is innocent. They force Peter to transform. The truth is undeniable. But then the moon comes out. Lupin transforms. Chaos erupts. In the confusion, Peter escapes. Sirius is recaptured. And despite their testimony, the Ministry won't listen. The word of underage wizards against established facts? I think not. Sirius is about to get the Dementor's kiss. But Hermione has the time turner. She, Harry, Neville, and Ron use it to go back. They save Buckbeak, then use him to rescue Sirius from the tower. Sirius looks at Neville before he flies away. Your parents would be so proud of you. You're brave, Neville. Never forget that. And Neville, who's spent his whole life feeling inadequate, feels a spark of something new. Pride. Year 4. The Tri-Wizard Tournament. Summer before 4th year is different. Neville's still with Gran, but now he's also exchanging letters with Sirius, who's in hiding but wants to mentor Neville. Sirius's letters are encouraging. Your mom once told me that bravery isn't about being fearless. It's about being scared and doing it anyway. You've been doing that your whole life, Neville. That's real courage. The Quidditch World Cup happens. The Death Eaters attack. The Dark Mark appears. Neville has a panic attack. Because the Dark Mark is Voldemort's symbol, and somewhere deep in his subconscious, he remembers that symbol from the night his parents died. Harry stays with him, helps him breathe. It's okay. It's just a symbol. It can't hurt you, but it's a reminder. Voldemort's followers are still out there. At Hogwarts, the Tri-Wizard Tournament is announced. Neville has zero interest in entering. He's learned his lesson about danger. but his name comes out of the goblet anyway. The great hall erupts. Accusations fly. He entered himself for more glory. Typical chosen one always wants attention, but Neville's face is white with fear. He didn't enter. He would never enter. Dumbledore believes him, but the magical contract stands. Neville has to compete. His friends rally around him. Hermione researches every possible task. Harry, who's actually good at magic, helps Neville practice spells. Ron provides moral support and terrible but well-meaning jokes. And Sirius from hiding sends advice. Don't try to be the best. Just try to survive. The tasks: survival over glory. The first task: dragons. Neville draws the Hungarian horntail, the most dangerous dragon. He's terrified, absolutely terrified. But Moody, who's actually Barty Crouch Jr., in disguise, but nobody knows that yet, gives him a hint. Play to your strengths, Longbottom. Herbology. He's always been good with plants. So he uses gillyweed? No, wrong task. He uses devil's snare seeds, throws them near the dragon. They grow rapidly, entangle the dragon's legs just long enough for Neville to grab the golden egg. It's not elegant. He gets burned. But he survives. The second task, the lake. Neville's person is Hermione, obviously. She's his best friend, his anchor. He uses gillyweed, Moody's suggestion, and swims down. But once he's down there, he sees the other hostages, Cho for Cedric, Fleur's sister, and Harry? No, wait. Who's Harry's person? His mum? His dad? No, Ron. Because Ron's Harry's best friend. Neville saves Hermione first. Then he sees Fleur hasn't arrived, same as Kenan. The little girl is in danger. Gryffindor instinct kicks in. He can't leave her. He tries to save both. The merpeople intervene. He argues in terrible mime that the child will die. They let him take her. He surfaces with 2 people instead of 1. Doesn't win, but gets points for moral fiber. The third task, the maze. Neville enters with Cedric, Fleur, Crumb, and Harry, who was entered as a 4th school champion because someone wanted him in the tournament too. We'll get to why. In the maze, Neville and Cedric help each other. They're both Hufflepuff adjacent in their loyalty and fairness. They reach the cup together. Agree to tie. Both grab it. Portkey activates. The graveyard, the chosen one faces his destiny. They appear in a graveyard. Cedric's immediately suspicious. This isn't right. The cup was a portkey? Then Wormtail appears. Kill the spare. Voldemort's voice, cold and high. Pettigrew raises his wand at Cedric. Neville doesn't think. He tackles Cedric. The curse misses. Run! Neville screams. They both run. But Pettigrew hits Cedric with a stunning spell. He falls. Neville's grabbed by magical ropes tied to Tom Riddle's gravestone, and then the ritual begins. Bone of the father, unwillingly given. Pettigrew takes a bone from the grave. Flesh of the servant, willingly sacrificed. He cuts off his own hand. Blood of the enemy, forcibly taken. He approaches Neville with a knife. Neville screaming, struggling. The knife cuts his arm. Blood drips into the potion. And Voldemort rises. He's back, fully corporeal, powerful. He looks at Neville and smiles. Neville Longbottom, the boy who lived. We meet at last, on equal footing. You killed my parents. I killed many parents. Yours were simply in my way. But you I wanted to kill for a different reason. The prophecy said you could defeat me. I marked you as my equal. He touches Neville's scar. And now we'll see if the prophecy was correct. The Death Eaters are summoned. They appear, circle around. Voldemort offers Neville his wand. Duel me. Show me this prophesied power. Neville's shaking so hard he can barely hold his wand. But he thinks of his friends, his parents, everyone counting on him. Stupefy. It's weak. Voldemort barely has to deflect it. Pathetic. This is the boy who's supposed to defeat me? You can barely cast a simple spell. At least I can feel love, Neville shouts back. It's the first time he's actively used his mother's sacrifice as a weapon. You don't know what that means. You'll never understand it, and that's why you'll lose. Voldemort's face twists in rage. Avada Kedavra! Neville casts Expelliarmus. It's all he can think of. The spells meet. The wands connect. Priori Incantatem happens. The spirits of Voldemort's victims appear. Frank Longbottom, Alice Longbottom, Cedric Diggory. Wait, Cedric's not dead yet, but he's unconscious. The old Muggle caretaker, Bertha Jorkins. They give Neville the distraction he needs. He breaks the connection, grabs the cup, grabs Cedric and Portkeys back to Hogwarts. He lands on the grass of the maze. Students are cheering. Then they see him covered in blood, shaking, holding an unconscious Cedric. He's back. Voldemort's back. The stadium goes silent. Year 5. The Ministry's denial. The summer after Voldemort's return is a nightmare. The Ministry won't believe Neville. Fudge calls him an attention-seeking boy trying to cause panic. The Daily Prophet runs smear campaigns. The boy who lied? Longbottom's delusions? Is the chosen one mentally unstable? Even the wizarding world turns on him, because it's easier to believe a traumatized teenager is lying than to accept Voldemort has returned. Neville's isolated. His gran believes him, but even she's frustrated. Why must you always be at the center of controversy, Neville? Only his friends stand by him completely. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Sirius from hiding. When they return to Hogwarts, Umbridge arrives, and she hates Neville with a passion. Because Neville represents everything she wants to suppress: the truth about Voldemort, resistance to Ministry control, independent thinking. She puts him in detention regularly, makes him write lines with her blood quill. I must not tell lies, but Neville's been through worse. He's faced Voldemort 3 times now. Umbridge is terrible, but she's not the Dark Lord. Hermione organizes the DA. We need to learn real defense. And Neville, whether you like it or not, you've fought Voldemort more than anyone. You should help teach. Me? Teach? I'm rubbish at magic. You're not, though, Harry says. You've gotten so much better. And you know what works under pressure because you've been under pressure constantly. Reluctantly, Neville agrees. DA, Neville as teacher. Teaching the DA changes Neville fundamentally. Because when you have to teach someone else, you have to really understand it yourself. And when he's explaining defensive spells to younger students, he realizes he actually knows this stuff now. Plus, something happens when he demonstrates a shield charm and it works perfectly. The students applaud. They look at him with respect, not pity. That was brilliant, Neville. Can you show us again? For the first time in his life, Neville feels competent, confident even. Harry notices the change. You're a good teacher, you know. I just remember what it was like to be rubbish at everything. So I try to explain it in a way that would have helped me. The DA trains in secret. Students from all houses join. They learn stunning spells, disarming charms, shield charms, patronuses. And Neville finally produces a full corporeal Patronus. It's a lion, a perfect Gryffindor lion. Hermione tears up. Neville, that's amazing. I was thinking about all of you, how you've believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. That's my happy memory. All of you. The Department of Mysteries, the prophecy. The vision happens. Neville sees Sirius being tortured in the Department of Mysteries, but this time, it's actually a vision of Frank and Alice Longbottom, still alive in St. Mungo's, being threatened. Neville's desperate to save them. His parents are alive, barely, mentally destroyed, but alive. And if Voldemort knows about them, Harry tries to stop him. Neville, it could be a trap. I don't care. They're my parents, Harry. What would you do if it was James and Lily? It's an unfair comparison, and Harry knows it. Because Harry's parents are safe at home, teaching at Hogwarts. James is the new flying instructor. Lily helps in the infirmary. Harry's parents aren't in danger, but Neville's are. So Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, Luna, and Neville all go to the Department of Mysteries. They find the Hall of Prophecies, and there's a sphere with Neville's name on it. SPT, to APWB Dark Lord and Neville Longbottom. Neville picks it up, and the Death Eaters appear. Lucius Malfoy. Very good, Longbottom. Now give that to me. No, you don't understand what you're holding. That prophecy is the reason the Dark Lord wants you dead. Hand it over. The battle erupts. 6 students against a dozen Death Eaters. It's chaos. Hermione gets hit. Ron's injured. Ginny's fighting 3 at once. The prophecy shatters during the fight. But Neville hears it as it breaks. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches. Born as the 7th month dies, and the Dark Lord will mark him as his equal. But he will have power the Dark Lord knows not, and either must die at the hand of the other. for neither can live while the other survives. Either must die at the hand of the other. The order arrives. The real battle begins. And then Voldemort himself appears. He sees Neville and smiles. There you are, the boy from the prophecy. Time to finish what I started when you were a baby. Dumbledore appears. You will not touch him, Tom. The duel between Dumbledore and Voldemort shakes the entire ministry. Neville and his friends can only watch in awe and terror. Voldemort can't win. But before he flees, he looks at Neville one more time. This isn't over, boy. Either you kill me or I kill you. There is no other way. And he disappears. The prophecy explained. In the hospital wing, Dumbledore explains the full prophecy to Neville. Either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. It means, Neville, that one of you must kill the other in the end. Neville's quiet for a long time. Then, how am I supposed to kill the most powerful dark wizard in history when I could barely pass my OWLs? You're stronger than you think, Neville. You've proven that time and again. But you're right. You're not ready. Not yet, which is why we must prepare you. That summer, Dumbledore begins training Neville privately. Not just magic, but strategy, history, understanding Voldemort's psychology. Harry sometimes joins these sessions because Dumbledore recognizes that Harry's natural talent combined with Neville's determination makes them stronger together. They learn about Horcruxes, about Voldemort's fractured soul, about the objects that need to be destroyed. 7 Horcruxes, Dumbledore explains. The diary, which you destroyed in second year, Neville. The ring, which I destroyed. The locket, the cup, the diadem, the snake, and one more. What's the 7th? Dumbledore looks grave. I have my suspicions. But I hope I'm wrong. Year 6. The hunt begins. 6th year is different. Neville's no longer the anxious boy who could barely cast spells. He's been training with Dumbledore. He's led the DA. He's faced Voldemort 4 times now. He's not confident exactly, but he's competent, and that's growth. Slughorn arrives and immediately tries to recruit Neville for the Slug Club. The boy who lived. Your parents were magnificent Aurors. You must join our little gatherings. Neville goes, mostly because Hermione suggests it might be useful for networking, but he finds Slughorn's obsession with famous people exhausting. Meanwhile, Dumbledore takes Neville on missions to collect memories about Voldemort. They visit former Death Eaters, old associates, anyone who knew Tom Riddle. One memory is crucial. Slughorn's memory about Horcruxes. But Slughorn won't give it up. He's too ashamed. Neville tries to convince him. Professor, people are dying. My parents are shells of who they were because of Voldemort. If you know something that can help stop him, you don't understand, boy. That conversation, I told Tom Riddle about Horcruxes. I may have given him the very information that made him immortal. Then help me destroy them. Make it right. The appeal to redemption works. Slughorn gives up the memory. They watch it together, Neville and Dumbledore. Young Tom Riddle asking about splitting his soul into 7 pieces. 7, Neville breathes. He really did it. And we must find them all. They go after the locket in the cave. Dumbledore drinks the potion. Neville forces him to keep drinking despite his screams. The Inferi attack. Dumbledore's fire drives them back. They return with the locket only to discover it's fake. A note inside from R.A. And then the Death Eaters attack Hogwarts. The lightning struck tower. Neville's not on the tower when it happens. He's fighting Death Eaters in the corridors with the DA. But he sees the dark mark over the astronomy tower. And he runs. He arrives too late. Dumbledore's dead. Killed by Snape, the greatest wizard of all time, gone. Neville collapses to his knees because Dumbledore was training him. Dumbledore was the one person who seemed to know how to defeat Voldemort, and now he's gone. At the funeral, Neville gives a speech. It's not eloquent. His voice shakes, but it's honest. Professor Dumbledore believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. He saw something in me that I couldn't see. And now I have to finish what he started. I have to destroy the Horcruxes. I have to stop Voldemort, because that's what he was teaching me to do. And I won't let him down. After the funeral, Neville makes a decision. I'm not going back to Hogwarts next year. His friends stare at him. Neville, no. Dumbledore was preparing me for this. The Horcruxes are still out there. Voldemort's getting stronger. I have to finish this. Harry steps forward. Then we're coming with you. Harry, you don't have to. You're my best friend, Neville. Plus you're rubbish at camping. You'll need someone who can actually start a fire. Ron grins. And someone who can play chess when we're bored. Hermione's already making lists. And someone who can research and plan. We're coming, Neville. This isn't negotiable. Luna Longbottom appears. Yes, I'm putting her on the team. I'd like to come too. If that's all right. Ginny Weasley, same. You'll need all the help you can get. Neville looks at his friends, his army, really, and feels less alone. Okay, then we hunt Horcruxes together. Year 7, the Horcrux hunt. They don't return to Hogwarts. Instead, they camp, they research, they hunt. The Ministry falls. Death Eaters take over. The Muggle-born Registration Commission begins. They're on the run, using Polyjuice Potion, stolen wands, whatever it takes. They infiltrate the Ministry to steal the locket from Umbridge. Hermione poses as Mafalda Hopkirk, Harry as a random wizard. Neville can't go because he's too recognizable. They get the locket, but wearing it affects them all. It whispers doubts. To Neville, you're not strong enough. You'll never defeat him. You're just a scared little boy pretending to be a hero. To Harry, your parents are safe. You don't have to be here. You're not the chosen one. You're nobody. To Hermione, you're Muggle-born. You don't belong. They'll turn on you eventually. Ron leaves after a particularly bad fight. The locket convinced him they don't need him. Neville's devastated. We can't do this without Ron. We have to try, Hermione says, though she's crying. Days later, Ron returns. He saves Harry from drowning. They found a clue about the sword of Gryffindor being in a pond, and Ron destroys the locket. The locket shows Ron his worst fears before it dies. Hermione choosing Harry, his family forgetting him, being useless. But Ron fights through it, stabs the locket, destroys it. They continue hunting. The cup from Gringotts, riding a dragon to escape. The diadem from Hogwarts. At Hogwarts, now controlled by the Carrows with Snape as headmaster, a resistance has formed, led by someone unexpected, Augusta Longbottom. Neville's grandmother, fierce and determined, has been teaching students to fight back. The DA has continued under her guidance. When Neville returns to find the diadem, his Gran is there. Neville? Gran. She looks at him, really looks at him, and sees not the disappointing grandson who couldn't live up to his parents. She sees a young man who's been hunting pieces of Voldemort's soul, who's led a resistance, who's grown into exactly the kind of hero the wizarding world needs. Your parents would be so proud of you. It's all Neville's ever wanted to hear. The Battle of Hogwarts, the final stand. Voldemort's forces attack Hogwarts. The final battle begins. Students, teachers, order members, everyone who can fight, fights. Neville's leading students, directing defenses, everything Dumbledore taught him about strategy coming into play. But then he learns the truth from Snape's memories. Snape still dies, giving them to Neville. There's a piece of Voldemort's soul in the scar. In Neville. He's the final Horcrux. To defeat Voldemort, Neville has to die. He stands in the room of requirement with his friends. I have to do it. I have to let him kill me. Harry's shaking his head violently. No. No, there has to be another way. There isn't. This is what Dumbledore was preparing me for. This is why I'm the chosen one. Hermione's crying. Ron's trying not to. Luna's holding his hand. You're the bravest person I've ever met, Hermione whispers. No, I'm just the most scared person who kept going anyway. Neville walks to the Forbidden Forest alone. Voldemort's waiting. Neville Longbottom? Come to die at last? Yes. Voldemort looks surprised. He expected resistance, begging, fighting. Not acceptance. You're just going to surrender? To save everyone else? Yeah, that's what my mom did. That's what real Gryffindors do. We protect people, even when it costs us everything. How touching. And foolish. Avada Kedavra. The green light hits Neville. He falls. King's Cross and the choice. Neville wakes up in white space, and there's Dumbledore. Professor. Hello, Neville. I'm so very proud of you. Am I dead? That is the question. But I think you know the answer. The Horcrux? Destroyed. You're free, Neville. You can board a train and go on. Or you can go back. Neville thinks of his friends, his Gran. The battle's still raging. I'm going back. It's not finished yet. No, it's not. But Neville, you've done something remarkable. You've proven that courage isn't about being unafraid. It's about being afraid and choosing to act anyway. That's the power the Dark Lord knows not. Not love alone, though that's part of it, but the courage to choose love, even in fear. Neville wakes up in Hagrid's arms, being carried to Hogwarts. Voldemort announces his death. Neville Longbottom is dead. The defenders despair. But then Augusta Longbottom steps forward. She's too old to fight, but she's not too old to inspire. My grandson was braver than any of you. He faced death to save us all. We will not dishonor his sacrifice by giving up. And Neville, playing dead, waits for his moment. Voldemort offers them a chance to join him. No one does. Then he demands someone from Hogwarts step forward and prove loyalty, and someone does. Draco Malfoy? No. In this timeline, someone else. But before anyone can join Voldemort, the Sorting Hat bursts into flames. No, wait. It's brought to Neville's body, just like canon. Voldemort mocks him. The boy who lived, now dead like any other. Neville jumps up, pulls the sword of Gryffindor from the hat, and in one fluid motion, beheads Nagini. I'm still here, and I'm still fighting. The battle erupts again. Death Eaters versus Devour. Defenders, and Voldemort duels Neville one final time. The final duel, Chosen One vs Dark Lord. They duel in the Great Hall. Everyone stops to watch. Voldemort's powerful, skilled, ruthless, but Neville's been training for this his entire life, whether he knew it or not. Every time he was knocked down and got back up. Every time he failed and tried again. Every time he was afraid and did it anyway. This is what it was all for. You can't win, boy. I'm immortal. I'm all-powerful. No, you're not, Neville shouts back. You're scared. You're so afraid of dying that you ripped your soul apart. But I'm not afraid anymore, because I know something you'll never understand. Some things are worth dying for. And that makes me stronger than you'll ever be. Voldemort casts Avada Kedavra. Neville casts Expelliarmus. The wands connect, but this time, there's no priori incantatem. Because the Elder Wand recognizes its true master. Neville disarmed Dumbledore? No, wait. The wand lore is different here. Actually, let's say Harry disarmed Draco in an earlier skirmish, and then Neville disarmed Harry during training. So the Elder Wand's allegiance passed to Neville without him realizing. The Elder Wand refuses to kill its master. The curse rebounds. Tom Riddle falls, dead. Finally, permanently, completely dead. The aftermath. The boy who lived. The battle ends. Death Eaters surrender or flee. Neville stands in the Great Hall, exhausted, bleeding, victorious. His friends surround him. Harry, Ron, Hermione, Luna, Ginny, and so many others. You did it, Harry says, awe in his voice. We did it. All of us. But Neville knows the truth. In the end, it had to be him. The prophecy was clear. Either he killed Voldemort, or Voldemort killed him. And Neville chose to live. Augusta Longbottom pushes through the crowd and hugs her grandson for the first time in years. Neville, my brave, wonderful boy. I'm so sorry I ever made you feel like you weren't enough. You've always been enough. Always. Neville cries. He's earned it. Later, much later, when the funerals are done and the rebuilding begins, Neville visits St. Mungo's. His parents are still there, still mentally destroyed, still unaware. He sits with them. Mum, Dad, I did it. I stopped him. You can rest now. His mother looks at him. For just a moment, there's a flicker of recognition. She smiles. And Neville knows. Somewhere, somehow, they're proud. 19 years later. The legacy platform 9 3/4. Neville's sending his daughter to Hogwarts. His wife Hannah, Abbott, they got married after the war, holds their son while Neville kneels to talk to their daughter. What if I'm not brave enough, Dad? Alice, you're named after the bravest woman I ever knew, and I'm going to tell you what my friends taught me. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means being scared and doing it anyway. But you're the boy who lived. You defeated you-know-who. How can I ever live up to that? Neville laughs. You know what? I spent my entire childhood thinking the same thing. I thought I had to live up to my parents, to my fame, to everyone's expectations. But the truth is, you don't have to live up to anything except your own potential. Be the best Alice you can be. That's all anyone can ask. She hugs him tight. I love you, Dad. I love you too, sweetheart. Nearby, Harry and Ginny are sending their kids off. James, Albus, Lily. Harry's been teaching defense against the dark arts at Hogwarts for the past decade, following in his parents' footsteps. James still teaches flying. Lily retired. Harry walks over to Neville. Ready for another year of them being gone? Never. But that's parenting, isn't it? They watch the Hogwarts Express pull away, carrying their children to new adventures. Ron and Hermione join them. Ron runs Weasley's Wizard Wheezes with George now. Hermione's Minister for Magic, changing laws and improving rights for non-humans and Muggleborns. Think they'll be all right? Ron asks. They'll be fine, Hermione assures him. Better than fine. They're going to have the childhood we fought to give them. Safe, happy, free. Neville thinks about his journey. From the scared, anxious boy who could barely cast spells to the man who defeated Voldemort. It wasn't easy. It wasn't smooth. But it was his. You know what's funny? He says. Dumbledore once told me that the prophecy could have been about Harry instead of me. If Voldemort had chosen differently, our entire lives would have been swapped. Harry considers this. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I'd been the chosen one? Sometimes. But then I realize it doesn't matter. Because regardless of the prophecy, regardless of who Voldemort chose, we still would have fought. We still would have stood together. That's who we are. Yeah, Harry agrees. I guess you're right. They stand together. Neville, Harry, Ron, Hermione, the four friends who changed the world. Not because prophecy demanded it, but because they chose to. And in the end, that choice made all the difference. Final thoughts. So what if Neville had been the chosen one? The story would have been harder, more uncertain, less naturally heroic. Because Harry's a natural hero. He's brave, talented, quick-thinking. Put him in danger and he rises to meet it. But Neville? Neville's the underdog. The anxious kid who everyone underestimates, including himself. Making Neville the chosen one's fate rests on someone who doesn't seem qualified. Someone who has to work twice as hard for half the recognition. Someone who fails constantly but keeps trying anyway. And maybe that's more inspiring than Harry's story. Because most of us aren't natural heroes. Most of us are scared, uncertain, convinced we're not good enough. But Neville proves that you don't have to be naturally brave to be a hero. You just have to keep showing up, even when you're terrified. You have to be willing to fail and try again. To ask for help. To rely on friends. To learn and grow and change. Neville Longbottom's journey from anxious first year to the man who killed Voldemort isn't just a story about destiny, it's a story about choice. The choice to be brave even when you're scared. The choice to keep trying even when you fail. The choice to believe in yourself even when no one else does. That's the power the Dark Lord knows not. Not just love, but the courage to choose love, to choose friendship, to choose to keep fighting even when it seems hopeless. And in the end, that's what makes Neville Longbottom the perfect chosen one. Not because he was destined for greatness, but because he chose it every single day, even when it was terrifying. The boy who lived. Not because he survived a curse, but because he chose to live bravely. Thanks for watching this deep dive into what could have been. If you enjoyed this journey through Neville's story as the chosen one, hit that like button. Subscribe for more Harry Potter theories, and let me know in the comments. What other moments would change if Neville was the boy who lived? What about his relationship with Luna? Or his eventual career as herbology professor? There's always more to explore.